Alright, I'm gonna try this. I don't actually know if this is gonna run smooth for me in my case. The last time I tried streaming, I had some serious issues with my graphics driver. Most of it seemed to have been a result of a issue on my end. Well, we'll find out if it's going to do it again. I believe it was due to my graphics card overheating last time. Said thermal issues should be resolved, but whether or not they are, truthfully, is, well, we're gonna see. You know, it's one of those situations. You just kind of have to roll with the punches as they go. So let me get myself queued up here with the playback feed. Oh, I don't know what I just did, but it's not what I wanted. Ah, fuck. I'm not gonna lie with you guys. I mean, saying I don't like what YouTube has done lately would be an understatement. I clearly am very unhappy with the current channel layout. I know that I'm holding a grudge to this, and we all know that YouTube isn't going to change what other crackhead methods that they're into now, but I'm just telling you firsthand. So I apologize for anyone really looking forward to this stream. I'm currently trying to queue it up here and make my computer use as less bandwidth as possible. So far, I have gotten this all optimized to the point where I shouldn't have anywhere near as many issues streaming as I have in the past. My upload should be pretty consistent in terms of receiving and sending information out, and I might actually do some adjustments here to my OBS. Yeah, see, I apologize for people laughing in the background. That's... Hold on, let me quickly stop and start again. You might see it stutter here. I'm trying to get my performance up perfectly. I don't like setting it to a rate controller. I just usually leave it at looseless, and YouTube kind of just does what it wants with the information I've given it. And normally that's pretty good. But, again, this is like one of those things where we're just going to have to see as we go. Alright, I think that's as fast as that's willing to go, and let me see if I can turn it up all the way to 1080, 60 FPS. Alright, so far that actually does look pretty good. It is not too far behind, so that's good information as well. I can make this smaller for you guys. And OBS can go over here. And I don't need Discord really up in my face. So what that means is I can go over here and pull up my stream footage here through another Google Chrome tab. I've got a lot of crap going on in the background right now, so... Alright, that's muted. Good. Okay. Good, good. I'm happy. Let's try to make this work. Oh, what did I just do? See, this is why we can't have nice things, because I'm always fucking breaking shit. Yeah, let's do the lowest setting, just so I can view comments here. And let me turn that radio down. It's literally as low. Okay, so it's obvious I can't do that. Because what just happened is I'm sending out too much bitrate, or I'm sending out too much info, and it's not really encoding nicely on YouTube's end, so I'm going to have to stick with using a pretty strict bitrate encoding here, that's fine, honestly. We'll see how good the quality is. Let me move around here and see how well it captures it, or if it's going to distort. Okay, there is some... You can tell there is some video tearing, and there is some textures that are very kind of stuttery, but that's what happens when you compress video. So, not much more I can go about doing there. It looks plenty fine for right now, and I'm just going to wing with it. Alright, so we should be good to start. I already have the unit started up here at one point. I have it shut off because it was setting up streaming and shit, so let's get it turned on. And we're going to be heading down to Rockford, obviously. You know, simple run. A to B. There's someone in the yard over there. Temperatures at 75, 26, 77 degrees Fahrenheit, so we're going to have to wait for it to warm up before we do anything because we're currently locked out. And it would help if I speak more clearly into my microphone, obviously. So I'm gonna have to like ride right up against the mic, because then nobody can hear me. And there's another person watching. Hello. Let's get our brakes off, obviously. Your independent off. And let me, well, I guess I can't. I gotta sit here and wait for it to warm up. Traditionally, you throttle into notch 2, the compressor put more air in, but because Dash 2 electronics, and we're warming up right now, and we're not notch 4 warming up, because we're just warm enough to the point where it doesn't have to, we're slowly building up temperature, and in the meantime, it's locked us out of our controls. Which is fine, because it seems like we're building up our equal reservoir now. You can hear how low the air is, though, as it's building up now. It's pretty low. So yeah, that's that. We're almost there, though. Let me open the mirror there and the visor. Let me get the other mirror opened up as well. There, who's that? I think that's, what's the name? Hijacked. He's over there somewhere. Let me back up, sort this guy out. If you want to go ahead of me, you can. Let me get off the switch here.
No, this is one of my super shitty looking modes I built a while ago. I should update it, but you can.
Should probably send him that. I'm actually streaming right now if you want to watch. It's up to you, though.
I'll watch.
I'm going to hope that it runs smooth this time, because in the past it hasn't. I can teach you firsthand Hijack if you want later on. LRI A160 departing to from Rockford, hopefully. Believe it or not, the trucks aren't the right ones. They're GE trucks that I have on here, but they look so similar that honestly, and they look better. So honestly, I don't think they're gonna get people really count me down for. There's only one person who actually noticed, and even he said it himself that he would have done the same thing. So they just look a lot more high quality. So, all right, beacon needs to come on because we're entering the main, and we don't need those on right now, so turn them off. So I wanted to actually tell people. Oh, yeah, here, let me do that. I don't know if it'll show up on stream, will it? Oh, no, Discord won't even open if I'm streaming. Hold on. Hold on. Oh my fucking god. Oops, I accidentally sent him the message there. Let me go back and close this side. I should probably actually move the preview of this guy somewhere, less susceptible to being seen or obstructed. Probably right there, so you guys can see what's going on with my computer if you want. Race is getting on. We still got to pull out of this block here. We got quite a bit of cars. Let me do the count. LRI A160. 26. So we got quite a bit of cars. I mean, and most of them are pretty much loaded. Oh man, he wasn't kidding. That was some spawn warp right there. Is it done? Yeah. I'm still coming out of the yard. Wow. Now, I don't know if that's just my game no longer rendering, but I'm pretty sure I cleared the yard, so now we can notch up here. Do one more loop around, and then I'm going to go head down. God, those transition skips don't sound very good. these things like clap the fuck out. God damn. My GPU is getting very warm, so I don't know how long this is going to hold up. But it does seem to be maintaining thermals. You know, it's very funny, because this GPU, the one that's overheating, isn't the one doing the majority of the workload. GPU number 1 is doing all the streaming and encoding. GPU 0 is just doing 3D rendering. Now, I've had GPU 0 like pegged at 100, and it hasn't overheated in the past. But yet, GPU 1, which is doing most of the 3D rendering, which technically is the workhorse at this moment because it's doing this stuff for Gary's mod, that's like at what? I'd say that's at like 58, 59% right now. It's boogieing up between 56 to 59. And that GPU, ironically enough, is the one that's overheating. But yet, it's never ran this hot, pegged at 100. So I don't know if it's because the way that GPU number 1 is going into GPU 0 and that's making it hot, or GPU 2, I guess you could say, is going into GPU 1, all the heat's transferring up and making that GPU warm. I don't know. All I do know is it's stupid, and there shouldn't be overheating. I'm going to keep it under 40 simply because I can keep it around 45. See, I don't think I can go much faster than this, honestly. These cars actually are pretty heavy. No, I still got some acceleration left in it, evidently. That's kind of crazy. It's just there's a lot of cars and it's rubber banding a little bit. I'll throttle back in this and switch down anyhow, so... set, and we'll just coast it over. Seems like this train actually has quite a bit of normal drag on it, which is kind of weird. But we'll see how long that drag lasts once we get out of here. And normally you should do like 15 over these switches. I do like 30. I've done 40 over them, no problem. Obviously, in realistic terms, in real life, you would never want to go fucking 40 over a switch. But, you know, it's just a game. We can get away with some stupid shit on here because of that. I never really realized that the slope leading up to the first bend right here is actually a downgrade. Alright, let's get our dynamics queued up here a notch too. I'm gonna have to get some air brakes in the mix as well. Now my dynamic brakes will only hold at about 20 miles an hour. I've got extended range brakes. And that's going by PT1 speed, although this unit right now is calculating in PT2 speed, so... That's just the engine computer revving the engine up as it's needed. You hear the air brake kind of squealing away there. But we're getting up there in terms of dynamic brake load. Do faster down the grade. Hey, what's good, Spooner? My headlights on. I'm gonna need my lights in here on. There we go. Oh, should have shut that off a while ago. Whoops. Ah, nice. Right now, realistic running session. Like, or realistic running for me, at least. Hopefully. We'll see if it goes wrong. My thermals so far are holding up, shockingly. Well, we'll see if that's going to be the case all the way through, but we'll find out. You'll hear a giant F word if this doesn't work. Or if I overheat, my graphics driver does knock out on me again like it does in the past. Our dynamics is set. Go to Dyna Notch 1. Dyna Notch 2, actually. And we'll cook shit if we have to. Oh, they're definitely getting warmer now. You see the dynamic grids and they're starting to get pretty warm. Give the dynamics turned off here. Even a notch 2. Coasting, obviously. I do kind of want to see if I can pull this up using this, but I mean, I may not be able to turn around with just the sheer length of the train, so we'll find out. Oh, hey, Sim. Alright, we'll get our dynamics back into set here. We're just gonna get added notch 2. Alright, now we're in set. Headlights up to mid. Get our dash lights on here and our number board lights. Those actually serve a function if you look outside. There you go. Thanks. Dynamic rate notch 1. I really should make a video that describes how those work. And my dynamics right now are 90. Wow, I'm literally topping out the brakes here. Oh, I'm about to break shit. Back to Tim here. And we'll just let her coast down with some air brakes. Yeah, there's a lot of dynamics here. Air pressure's pretty low. Yeah, it's fucking loud. Here, let's get the lights up here. For the E2 couplers, if I make them public, I have to show people how to wire them. They're not that easy to wire right now because of the, you need 2 E2s just to make the couplers work. Now the reason behind that is because in order to reduce calculation speeds and in order to optimize them, they have to clone their inputs through a separate E2. Now, unfortunately, that's the cost of lowering ops, is having 2 separate entities in order to accommodate a single task. I do it anyhow simply because I don't mind it, and I do believe it's worth it, but other people would think otherwise. And we're going to cook something, obviously, so I got to get off the dynamics here and go to low. Put the phone number to me or like phone number in the chat, because I would not put your phone number in this chat if I were you. And yeah, like Salty said, there's no reason to really double head with the new LRI units, and those couplers really aren't good when it comes to using them on similar things. No, you don't have to send it to me, Scooter. I'm probably not going to call you using my phone, to be honest. I don't really do that with people. Yeah, see? See how the line just went red for a sec there? That's above a... like, when the line goes orange, it's a 3% grade. If it goes red, that's a damn near 4% grade. See? See how it goes back to orange here once it gets into the low 3s? This whole grade is 4%. It goes back to like a 3.5, 3. Then once it goes to like a yellowish, it's more of a like 2.5%. And we're just flat leveled out. It's crazy. It's stupid how many freaking... like, it goes... literally, this map goes from 0% to 2%, then to, like, maybe 3 or 4%. Like, there's no in-between the 0 to 2%. I mean, if you hit a... you know, like a corner or something, then it might act up and say they're going at a 1%, but still... Oh, just talk to me on, oh, okay. Yeah, I'd rather do this later on. I don't like using my personal phone to call people. Unless I know them in person. The only people I could say who have my phone number are the staff team on TS200. Yeah, I can clean up disconnected player props. Can someone leave something out? Yeah, they did. Thanks. No, it works, but I set it on a pretty lengthy timer. It works, but I have it set on a lengthy timer. And the reason why is because people would accidentally crash, and then their stuff would get cleaned up, and they would get pretty pissed. So that's why I have done that. Yeah, I feel that. Is it like a school laptop, or is it like your computer you normally play on? Well, the problem with my computer is that I have no complaints on it when it comes to a lot of the work that I do with it, but the thing is that really stinks about my machine is that for the price that you're paying for the performance that you get is really more in a good, friendly ratio towards video editing, content creation, and maybe like multi-thread gaming applications. But when it comes to Gary's Mod and Minecraft, and you try playing that on my computer, the frame rate's never really perfect. Right now I'm getting about 44, and I'm okay with that. In my opinion, anything above 30 in Gary's Mod is a success, and normally I'll get anywhere between 24 to 50. It doesn't normally go above that when you're actually running stuff in a server with anyone else. Yeah, see, I mean, I've been there. I mean, like, my first computer that I played Minecraft with, but for fuck's sake, that thing had a Pentium 4 and an NVIDIA GeForce 8200 GT. I mean, and the thing was originally a Pentium 3 socket system that I was able to upgrade using a new motherboard that I pulled off of an older gateway computer that was basically case was shot. Yeah, and Salty is correct. I mean, Gary's Mod is an ancient game. It uses the Source game engine, which is, I mean, you're talking about the Source engine's been around since 2000 whatever, and it's designed for single core performance. And even then, when it comes to Gary's Mod really pushes the limitations of that engine. You're only going to get good FPS up to a certain point, but if you have like an i5 from like a cheap Dell Ultiplex GX, or like an Ultiplex 9020 or like a 3020, and you got like an i5 4550 or something like that, you should be okay. I mean, you should be able to play with up to like the hundreds of FPS with like a 750 Ti and stuff, because it likes that. But the problem is, my computer, is I have 24 threads and 12 cores. And, well, that sounds awesome, and I'm running a multi-socket Xeon system. Keep in mind, it's a first-gen QPI socket-based Xeon LGA 1366 system. It's not living it up. I'm using something with that many cores, but it's a matter of how, it can't thread everything through one thread easily. Think of it like this. 9 women can have 9 babies in 1 month, right? No, that doesn't work like that. You see what I mean? But 9 women can have 9 babies in 9 months, and that's what my computer does best. It has a fuckload of power for running multitasking. And it goes to show when you look at some of my videos of my setup where I've got 6 monitors, and every single one of them is almost always populated with something. And I'm almost always running excessive amounts of applications. And you can see right now I'm streaming, my CPU is relatively low, and a lot of the secret behind that is not just because of the CPUs that I have, but it's also because you see GPU number 1, not GPU 0, but GPU number 1. All the CPU percentage you see on that 27, 20 to 29% you see there on it, that's from streaming. That video card is there just dedicated as a pre-encode render processor that helps do a lot of offloading off of CPU. But to answer your question, Scooter, if you want to build a desktop for really cheap, I don't know about the prices lately, because the thing about it is that during quarantine, so many people have been wanting desktops that the price has actually increased due to the load and need usage. But you should have a you should look into buying like a Dell Optiplex 3020 and just upgrading the GPU for it. Like just buying like an old 750 Ti. Chances are you should be able to get some pretty good results if you do that. Because the 750s, while they're old and they're getting pretty obsolete at this point. I've used them for years. The ones I have in my system, I've had in my possession since like 2012 when they first came out. And I simply refuse to upgrade because I'm a cheapskate like that. Let's get the dynamics off. I don't need those running. Somehow I fucking made it. Wow, would you look at that? Yeah, believe it or not, my machine has more multi-threading capability than the 8700K, which is crazy, considering that it's an old system. But now the problem is, I don't know where people are getting those numbers from, because the 8700K, in terms of single-core performance, literally bum rapes my computer. I do not have that good of single-core performance. I wish I did, but I don't. All right, let's try to stop this heat. Why? It's just the way that the chip executes and renders information. See, the Skylake, Coffee Lake, and Haswell and above, those CPUs are insanely good at single-core performance, because here's the thing. High clock speed, better threading applications in terms of the app, because there's less information to flow through. See, with my machine, I have 2 physical CPU sockets. And not only do I have 2 physical CPU sockets, but I also have a QPI, because I have 2 North Bridges, I have 2 CPUs, I have 2 PCIe buses, I have 2 of everything. It's a matter of fact, if I pull up on my, where's my, hold on. Come over here. Alright, if I pull this guy up, you're gonna, laugh at this. Right here, okay. Whoa, that's not really what I wanted. Alright, here we go. So real quickly, looking at this, I have 2 sockets right there. There's my proof. 12 cores in total, 24 logical processors in total. If I go to logical processors, this shows me threads. So really, you split this in half, that's my total of cores. But I have hyperthreading. That's the only reason it shows 24 cores. I don't actually have 24 cores, I only have 12. It's just, So what's really cool is, because it's multi-socket, Intel goes by nodes. So this is CPU 0, node 0. So this is core number 1, and this is core number 2. Or excuse me, this is core number 1, and this is core number 1, thread 2. So there's 2 threads per core. Now what's really funny about this is, if I get down to here, there's CPU 11. So that's the 12th thread on CPU number 1. I go down to here, node 1. That's the other socket CPU. So I built this machine for dirt cheap, I should mention, but there are downsides with this. There is a lot of modifications you got to do. A builder would probably a professional builder, which, to be honest, I take my consideration as a professional builder, because I used to do this for people quite often. I used to build and maintain NAS servers and stuff. I got out of that. I was getting sick of it. That's why I'm going into college to become a diesel technician. I want to work on EMD engines. It's kind of a passionate thing now, working on engines and stuff. It's kind of fun. Anyhow, if I go over here to overall utilization, that's everything. And then if I go over to NUMA nodes, and you probably don't have this in your machine, but if you have multi-CPU sockets like I do, you got nodes. This is physically socket CPU number 1. This is everything the first socket's doing, and this is the other thing the socket number 2 is doing. So if I go to this and I go to logical processors, that shows everything. So anyhow, back to what I was saying. Because I have 2 of everything, look how many slots of RAM I have. And yes, every single one of them is used. So the reason why this isn't good is because you have 2 of everything. Now, that's, again, because this is a server machine, and it's for redundancy. The bad thing about this is, you have a QPI, first-gen QPI. See, back in the day, Intel ran everything through one North Bridge, and what happened when you ran everything through one North Bridge is you had bottlenecks. Intel's solution was, okay, instead of losing information and dissipating it as heat, why don't we make something called a QPI, Quick Path Interlink. It's a secondary co-processor for the 2 main processors, and what that guy does is its main sole purpose is to connect both the North Bridges, both the CPUs together, so they can communicate. And let me just tell you from first-hand experience, first-gen QPIs are total dog shit, and this one has it. And so the performance in bottlenecking isn't that much better than what it would have been if they just linked the North bridges together. But Intel was experimenting, and pretty much all of their Xeon chips up until like 2011 were pretty much all experimental. None of them ever stayed the same. And I know this because I always ran Xeon socket systems. I always ran Xeons. I've ran the earliest Xeons you could imagine up until probably, in my personal rigs at least, till Haswell and Tylersburg. No, not Haswell, excuse me. Tylersburg or Westmeyer is my latest that I've run personally. I've gone as far up as to Haswell-based on the E5s and the E7 Xeons in commercial stuff for other people. I could never afford that, but this system cost me not that much to make. I have a video describing what I did to make it, but there's a lot of modifications you gotta go into. I'll see you, Spooter. So if you're interested, I recommend looking into it, but there's a lot you need to know. There's a lot you need to go into. It's not something you can easily make a purchase on because it only takes one bad move to make you broke, basically a broke hoe. Because, yeah, they're not inexpensive. Thank you. Same to you, Spooter. Alright, well, I gotta move this, and I'm probably gonna stop streaming now that I was actually able to accommodate this. Whoops. Come on. Thank you. And just like just about everything, I'm gonna yeet the shit in the lava. Same with all these cars, because fuck it. There you go. Logical. And let me clean my shit up here, because I'm not gonna let it sit there and burn. Anyhow, there we go. I'm happy I was even able to stream this successfully. Normally I've had problems in the past. So, thank you guys for watching. I'm probably gonna do a Minecraft stream. We'll see what happens later on today. Have a good one, my dudes.